Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about how to get better at coding, right? Everyone's asking this question. Everyone wants to know the answer to this question. How do I learn to code? How do I get better at it? John, how do I actually get a job if I teach myself how to code? And we're going to be talking about all that today, but we're going to be focusing especially on, some things that you can do to get better at programming, right? Some quick things and some habits that you can adapt in order to improve your coding ability. Before we go on any further, everyone, my name is John Vine. What we do on this channel is I try to use my experience and give you guys tips on how to achieve your goals and become a software engineer, how to take coding from a hobby to a full-time job and actually make money from it. If you like the content, feel free to like and subscribe. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. So yeah, the first thing we want to talk about, this is something I learned a couple of years ago, and I really never thought about using open source projects as a way to, improve your coding ability. But my first tip is actually to find open source projects online, go on GitHub and find an open source project that you like, and then try to contribute to it, right? Either build a new feature and, fork the code, build a new feature and make a pull request, or, you can also go on GitHub and actually when you see a project, you can look at the open bugs, and then what you can do is you can kind of fix the bug and make a pull request. This is what I would recommend to you guys if you're learning how to code and really want to increase your skills. This is also just a great way to practice coding. If you can actually find a bug, put a fix, then make a pull request and actually contribute to an open source project. And by what I mean in that way is that your code actually gets merged, then that's great, right? That's like basically the entire process of being a software engineer, and you kind of got the whole gist of the entire experience through GitHub. Not only that, but contributing to open source projects is a great thing to put on your resume. It's something you can actually talk about during interviews, and it'll be very helpful because not only is it a good thing to contribute to, but it also makes you stand out. Not a lot of people have contributed to big projects, and so if you can really do that and become an active member, and actively contribute to open source projects, I think that's just as good as building your own side projects, because you're getting a lot of experience and you can kind of pick what technologies to work with. And I just think that GitHub and open source projects are underutilized by people that are trying to learn how to code and just practice their skills in general. Number 2 on this list is going to be to review other people's code. Now, if you're already working as a full-time software developer, right, and you have a team, this is probably going to be a lot easier for you. But other than that, what you could do is, if you have your own code base, you can go through that, review it, and try to think of it from a mindset of a developer that's, not you. So from someone that's brand new, does this make sense? Is this doing what I want it to do? Is it easy to read? All this kind of stuff. Try to take the perspective of someone who doesn't know the code base and review it. If you don't want to do that, if you want to do something more fun, I would recommend, going on GitHub again and using open source projects, looking at their pull requests and just, reviewing it in your head. Look through it. Obviously, you can't merge it and, ask for comments and leave comments, ask for improvements, right? Because it's not your project. But what you can do is read through it, read through the commits, see the changes they made, and, try to come up with an opinion. Is this good? Is this bad? Try to find places in the code that you would improve and things like that. And it kind of also, again, simulates a real, workplace environment of what you're going to have to do once you're a full-time engineer is you're going to have to review other people's code, right? It's part of the job, whether you like it or not. And so doing this on GitHub through these open source projects is another great way to practice this, get better at it, and kind of simulate the full-time experience. And so again, guys, GitHub gives a lot of great things other than just hosting your code and having a place to download code from, right? There's a lot of different niche little things you could do to improve your own coding ability on GitHub. The third tip I'm gonna say is something I've talked about, on this channel tons of times. I'm pretty sure everyone here knows to do this, and it's to build side projects, right? What you want to do is, if you want to practice a language, you want to get better at a language, the only thing you can do is code, right? Once you kind of learn the syntax and the fundamentals, you just have to code and build a side project. Now, off the top of my head, I would say build either an existing website, so kind of build a clone of it, a very simple clone, or I would also recommend building a web server or some endpoints that you can hit and just find out how to host them. I think that would be a great exercise for beginner programmers too, as someone that just wants to get better at a backend language, to actually make your own server, make your own endpoints and be able to hit them. I think that's a great side project, and you can make it fun, right? You can work with whatever language you want to learn. You don't have to be constrained to a certain language or a certain technology because you're at a company, right? This is all on you, so you can pick whatever you want to learn and build whatever you want to build. So you can take this opportunity to kind of learn a different language, implement something fun, and just make it a good experience where you're learning and enjoying yourself at the same time. Now, this kind of leads into my next tip, which is try to learn multiple languages, right? I've struggled with this before. It's been a while since I've learned a brand new language, and I feel like I could definitely benefit from it at this point in my career. And so that's definitely something I'm going to be working on in the future. And basically what you want to do is you want to learn new languages, because there's always new text evolving, and there's always a better way to do something that you might have done it in a different way before. And so learning new languages will just keep you fresh, and the more net languages that you learn, the better you're going to get at learning new languages, right? So it's kind of an experience and a skill that you build upon every time you learn a new language. Now, I would only learn multiple languages, obviously, if you've already learned one language and you've mastered one language. If you're just starting out, then there's no point in learning two languages, guys. Just pick one, stick to it, and learn that. This is just for those people that already know how to code and want to just get better and improve their skills. And a good way to, learn a new language is to actually take a programming course. Now, there's a ton of free ones online. There's a ton that you can pay for, through Code Academy, Udemy, all those websites. But what I would actually recommend is to, try taking a programming course and seeing the whole thing through. I've done this in the past with courses like React, and I just think that, it's a proven way that you can learn how to code, right? People have had success with different courses, and it's just a more structured way of learning a language that is different compared to you learning it by yourself, right? By yourself, there's a lot more discipline involved. You have to set your own time schedule, and I just think that, when I try to plan something by myself and no one else is involved, it's harder for you to stay, accountable, and it's harder for you to actually complete the job, right? But if you can just take a course, the steps are there, you know what the minimum required stuff is to succeed, and you can kind of iterate on that and kind of make your own schedule around a course. I would kind of just say that that's what I would do. I feel like I would have a higher chance of succeeding if that's what I did. But yeah, not a lot of people talk about this. Taking a programming course can be very good. There's a lot of experienced software developers that do this just to stay fresh and kind of, improve their skills on the language they already know too. So I would definitely recommend, taking a programming course as an actual strategy to, get better at programming, even if you already know how to do so. So guys, that was 5 tips on how to become a better programmer, how to get better at coding. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you like the video, feel free to subscribe, leave a comment down below. If there's anything you guys want to add, talk about how you guys get better at coding and what some of your strategies are, feel free to leave a comment down below. So guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Take it easy.